Hi, welcome to the Enchantment of the Seas. Today we're going to do a tour of the entire cruise ship starting up here on deck 10. Come join us right after this. Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. It's John here from Bite Size Cruises. Today we're going to give you a tour and a little bit of a review of the delightful Enchantment of the Seas. So this is an older, smaller cruise ship, as we've talked about, and it was built in the late 90s. So it is showing some wear and tear, kind of getting to end of life. But as we start up here on the upper pool deck, it is still a really, really pretty cruise ship. There's a lot of charm to it. It has that kind of old school cruise ship feel. But we really enjoyed it. We had a great time. So as you walk around the top of the pool deck here on this absolutely beautiful day, there is a ton of seating on this cruise ship. We were on a full sailing and it did not feel full or crowded at all, which is really nice. On these smaller ships, they don't have the, crazy amount of people as the newer ships, and there's a little more space per person, I think. So it was really lovely. As you pop up here, this is kind of pseudo deck 11, but this is above the pool deck, the upper pool deck. And you can see it's just a cool little spot. This is a great spot for sail away. If you look down into there, you look into the Windjammer buffet. So it's kind of cool little perspective, but really fun. Great place to hang out, like I said, for sail away. And as we wander down here, we're going to come back around the other side on the upper pool deck and just give you just a little bird's eye view of everything here. Like I said, the ship definitely shows signs of wear and tear, especially if you see it from the shore. You can see a little shuffleboard here, old school cruise stuff on this ship. It's not an Oasis class ship. So you wander around here, you're going to see Disney Wish back there in port. And then as we wander around here towards the back of the ship, this is where the rock climbing wall is. So normally during the day, if they're having rock climbing, you cannot walk all the way around the ship there on deck 10, but you could because they weren't doing rock climbing. So here you also see the bridge there. So in 2005, they cut the ship in half. I think it was 2005. Anyway, at some point, they cut the ship in half and added 73 feet to it. And this little bridge is a perfect example of that. So you see where they added the room there and they made this cool little bridge, which is really fun. Adds another cool architectural dimension to the ship. And like I said, the outdoor deck, there's a ton of space for the amount of people on this ship. I know a lot of people complain about deck space and chairs by the pool. There are never enough chairs by the pool if you're outside by the pool all the time. But up on this upper deck, you can see there's double rows of chairs, which is a little aggressive. But plenty of room, just a beautiful pool deck overall. And you get to see the bridge there on both sides from a better view of where they made the addition to the ship. And we wander around the other side here, headed towards the back again where the rock climbing wall is. Lots of little nooks and crannies on this ship too. It's a fun ship to explore. Obviously, this is one of our shorter ship tours because it's not that big of a ship, but it was really fun. Again, you get the really cool view of the Disney Wish back there, which was really beautiful. You can see just a nice port day here, nice and calm. The weather's beautiful. The one thing I was looking for on the ship was the Starlink satellites, but I did not see them. But here you see the inside of the solarium as we head towards the back of the ship there. And then again, just more and more deck space. And again, it's not ideal if you're looking for pool deck space, but tons of space if you just want to go out and lay in the sun or just hang out up on the deck where you're outside and you have a little bit of peace and quiet. I found there were a lot of spots on the ship that were very, very quiet all the time. And this is one of those up there, which is pretty cool. Now we're going to wind around the back here again to the other side of the rock climbing wall. So pretty complete little view of deck 10 here. Then we jump into the fitness center. Also on deck 10, we're going to do kind of each deck at a time here. So you see the fitness center, not the biggest fitness center. It's not an Oasis class ship, but tons. And as you can see, there's nobody in here at the moment. There's a few people. I kind of worked around them, but a lot of weights, a lot of bikes, treadmills. It's a small area. This is also like the little yoga area, stretching area. We did the morning stretch a few times down in the Centrum, which we'll see in a little bit. Plenty of treadmills. There's plenty of room for everyone. And then this is the entrance to the spa, where the treatment centers are. And this was a really pretty area as well. And it opens up right into the solarium. So if you're walking through the solarium and you get to the back of the solarium, you will walk into the spa. You can see all these nice people waiting for their treatments. And then we head out the doors there into the solarium. Get a good look at the solarium. Beautiful windows. Pretty warm in here all week, even when it's cold out. So we left from Baltimore in January. It was a little chilly, but really nice in here. People were in the pool day one in the solarium, which is really nice when you're leaving somewhere cold in the winter to be able to jump into a pool right away and not lose that full day or two. There's Meg of your cruise where you're worried about, it's cold and you can't get in. Everybody's just hogging the hot tubs that aren't even that hot. So again, you wander around the solarium, which was really, really nice. As you come to the right side of the solarium here, or the left side, from the perspective of here, across from us, so you have the pool there with some hot tubs. Across is going to be the bar, which we're going to see in a second. But right here we have the Solarium Park Cafe. So they did a bagel station here in the morning, pizza in the afternoon, and salad in the afternoon. And then obviously just some grab and go things throughout the day, and coffee and tea all the time up here. You can see the solarium pretty popular. This is probably pretty early in the morning when I did this video, and still a good chunk of people in the solarium. Solarium was pretty much crowded the entire trip, which is great. And it's not overwhelmingly crowded, but just, it's one of the hot spots of the ship. And like we said, there is the solarium bar as well. Love the solarium. Meg spends a good chunk of all of our cruises in the solarium. Meg and AJ work from the solarium a lot because it's a quiet little spot. So it's really nice. Reminds me of the solarium on Adventure and Voyager, those class of ships. And then we're going to wander out here into the main pool deck. Remember, on Royal, one side of the pool deck is smoking, the other side is not. It's very easy to see which one is smoking because you will see everyone smoking there all the time. So head onto the pool deck. You see you got your traditional ping pong tables there. Again, still a really pretty ship. In certain spots, it does look old, but for the most part, they've done a pretty good job of keeping it up. You'll see some wear and tear in the rooms and the bathrooms. Some of them are redone, but most of them are older looking. But we had still, with all of that being said, we had a great time on the ship. We were on it for 8 days. I could have stayed on the ship longer. If they threw a couple more shows in for another week or so, it would have been awesome. Had a great time. One of the big things is expectations. We always talk about, have realistic expectations on what the ship's going to be. There is not a Broadway show. There's no ice rink. There's no aqua theater. It's a very old school traditional cruise experience. Rest, relaxation, dinner, shows at night, hanging out by the pool and reading during the day, and some games and fun trivia and things like that. It's just a nice relaxing way to spend your vacation. See the pools. We had a little rain in the morning. This is a giant bar over here. It was only open once, but it's huge. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why they open it or don't open it. I'm guessing it's only open on sea days, but for us, it was only open on one sea day. But it's a huge bar. Really nice. Then you have your hot tubs. There's a TV screen there. That is one of the places you really see the wear and tear that TV has seen way better days. It is all pixelated. There's a bunch of broken bulbs or whatever it is on there, however it's made. Here's the other pool here, but you can see it there. There are a bunch of panels that are not working properly. Ship's just old. It's almost 30 years old. So that's what happens. Then you have your pool bar here, which is open during the day. And then to your left there is the extension of the Windjammer. So it's a little extra space there for the Windjammer. And then on the other side is just outdoor seating. This is the little kids splash area. And then you head into the Windjammer. Super cute in here. You have some external side things here with your drinks and soup and salad. And then Meg is escorting us into the little circle that is the Windjammer Marketplace here. So it's just a big circle with all your food options. We had a great time. The buffet, the food was great every day. We ate there pretty much every day. We ate something in the Windjammer. So it was really great. Wasn't super crowded. When we went there, we kind of got there right when they opened every day for each meal. So we could run in and get in and out. So all the food was great in the buffet. No problems at all there. It's pretty... all the people were pretty nice. Didn't see anything overtly crazy in the buffet this time, thank God. So there you can see up in the middle, you'll see, maybe you won't, but that's where you would look up into that top deck there, doing some dancing. It was, I think it was Caribbean night that night. Or no, it was Indian night. So here we are going up to the Viking Crown Lounge. Cool spot up here on deck 11. This was where we did sail away. Great place if you, it was a little chilly out. So we did sail away from up here. Really cool spot, which was very quiet during the day for the most part. And sometimes you came up here and they were doing cupcake classes, or you just find a lot of people up here reading or hanging out just to get some quiet time in the evening. The bar is open here. It's open during the day as well. And then this becomes a nightclub at night. If you would like to know how that was at night, I have no idea because I'd never stayed up that late. So I'm sure it's a blast. This was a little bit of an older sailing because it was an 8-dayer out of Baltimore. So there was not a lot of young, like nightclubby type of people on this sailing. So yeah. So then this little cool stairway here or ramp winds around to the Concierge Club, which is right there in front of you, and up to the Diamond Lounge at the very, very, very tippy top of the ship there, which we will take you in. This is pretty cool. It's the bottle, the giant bottle that they actually christened the ship with. That's very cool. Back in the 90s there when they did that. And then walk up here to the Diamond Club. All the way up on deck 12. Concierge is there during the day to help you with any reservations that you might need, which is really nice. And then we wind around through. This overlooks the Viking Crown Lounge, which is nice. And then if you've ever been in the Diamond Lounge, which is for diamond guests that are diamond and above on Crown and Anchor Society, they have snacks and goodies here all day. Well, they have coffee and tea and stuff all day. They do have snacks and goodies in the morning, the afternoon, and the evening, but not all day. Then we're going to wander all the way down here to deck 6, and we're going to look at Chops Grill. Chops is the only specialty dining restaurant on Enchantment of the Seas, and it's pretty big, and it was very crowded every day. So not a lot of specialty dining here. We did eat here one night. It was excellent. Chops across the fleet is usually pretty standard. I haven't had too much variations with different meals. It's just reliably good. No issues here. We had a great meal. Everything was wonderful. We had a great server, Irina from the Ukraine, who was wonderful. And you can see it's big for the size of the ship it is. And then you wander out here on deck 6. And you're going to see this on decks pretty much 4, or actually 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. There is artwork on all of those decks. So there's not your traditional art gallery that they have on some of the larger ships, where it's all kind of in one spot. This is pretty much spread out, which is pretty cool, and it's nice to see different things on all the different floors. Then you have your next cruise desk in front of us, so you could book your next cruise adventure, which is always fun. You have your Coca-Cola Freestyle machine, which is in a strange place right in the middle there. And then we just peer out over the Centrum, which was really, really nice. Again, the ship is quaint. It's got like a certain old school charm to it. You see the library here in front of us. Everything's kind of all together, which is nice sometimes too. You have your little Wi-Fi area if you need to use a computer. You have Cafe Latitudes here that has your Ben & Jerry's ice cream and your specialty coffees if you're interested in that. Then we're going to wind back around to the other side of Deck 6. And this is going to take us into the photo gallery. Pretty cool. This space during the day, everybody should know how much these characters weigh by now. But this space during the day is just like portraits, and then it opens up when the photo gallery opens with all the people's pictures like they used to do on all the ships, which is really cool. And they also sell, GoPros and cameras and lenses and charging cables and stuff here if you need any of those things, but they don't have a lot of hours. They were not open a lot, just so you're aware. Then we're going to wander around to the Royal Shops here. We have our jewelry store, Gems and Jewels there. Going to come down here where the rest of the shops are on Deck 6. You're going to have the logo shop over here on your right with all your Royal Caribbean swag. We get sucked into every trip. We buy more Royal Caribbean stuff. There it is. Then you have your standard like regalia watch, and then you have your other standards of, just your normal like clothing. These are the little kiosks in the middle where they do t-shirt sales, and, they do the inch of gold sales, the Invicta watch sales that you see in Citizen, and all those other things that they sell. And then, like I said, you have your watch store down there. This is a little part of the Royal Shop there where they have just kind of your alcohol and some sundries in case you want some candy or Pringles or anything like that. Then we come around to the end of Deck 6 here, which is the front of the ship and is the top deck of the Orpheum Theater up here. We spent a lot of time in the theater. I actually worked in the theater one day because it was really quiet in there and there was nobody in there. And the internet was really really good in there. They have Starlink on board, so the internet is excellent on this ship. And you can see the theater is really beautiful. They have these, the old school theaters are really, really, really nice. Just beautiful. They have these like sofa little sectionals that you could sit in. They have actual cup holders that actually hold glasses of wine and drinks, which is really nice. And you could just tell it's like a beautiful old school theater. Not a bad seat in the house, as they say. Saw some great shows here. Very, very nice theater. And then here we are, wandering down to the Schooner bar. It's on the opposite end of deck 6. We go all the way down. Schooner bar, it always cracks me up that on these smaller ships, the schooner bar is really big. And on the bigger ships, the schooner bar is kind of small, where I want it to be big. And it's just not. But schooner bar is a big favorite of everyone who goes on Royal Caribbean, obviously. But it's a great time. Head in there at night. Hear some great sing-along music. And then if you continue going through the schooner, you're going to wind up at the Spotlight Lounge. Spotlight Lounge is where they have trivia during the day, bingo. They do the Majority Rules game show in here. Cool space. Reminds me of the Spinnaker Lounge on the older Norwegian ships. I think it's Spinnaker. Yeah, it is Spinnaker. But quite a big little lounge room here. And really great space for smaller, intimate shows, which I like a lot. Here we are down at the casino. Casino Royale on deck 5. One thing you will never hear me say is the casino is small on a Royal Caribbean cruise ship. It is not small. It is large. I do gamble a little bit. I enjoy playing some craps, enjoy playing roulette, even enjoy playing the slot machines. Sometimes it's just fun to go in there. It's at the end of the night, I go in there sometimes. If I'm waiting for a video to upload, I'll just hang out and play some games. You meet some great people in the casino. You meet other crazy people like yourself that are in there and hanging out at night. But casino is a lot of fun. It's a nice sized casino. Plenty of games, plenty of room in there. Nice bar in there. Cool floors. Now we wander out of the casino. Immediately as you come out of the casino, on the left-hand side there, you're going to wander into Boleros. So Boleros is here, which is your Latin bar, which is on pretty much every Royal Caribbean cruise ship so far that I've been on. Again, big space for the size of the ship it was. Was not crowded in here all that much in the evenings, which I thought was weird. It's usually pretty packed in Boleros. They did a lot of like the towel folding and different demonstrations in here, which was really fun. It's a great space too to sit in during the day, read a book, hang out, have a cup of coffee. We wander out of Boleros and further along deck 5 here. As you come out here, we're going to spin around. We're one deck up from the entrance of the Centrum there. You can see this is where you would normally find your cruise compass, which they don't do anymore. It's all digital. You can get the paper ones, but they don't have them out anymore. And then you wander over here and you're going to have your guest services and shore excursions desk. And it overlooks the atrium there. The Centrum is really, really pretty still after all these years. And then you wander down and you are in the top level of the My Fair Lady dining room here at the end. And then we're going to take you for a quick walk outside. So this is one of my favorite spots, deck 5. You can walk pretty much around the entire ship here. Just really, really breathtaking views. This is sunset one night. It's got the old school kind of boardwalk feel to it. Just really, really pretty. Nice spot if you just want to get out after dinner, have a little walk. You can also do that up on the top deck, but it's really nice here on deck 5, and it's way quieter than the pool deck. As you can see, we're out here at sunset, and it's very, very, very quiet. One thing we saw on this cruise, there was a lot of just tremendously beautiful sunsets. Not that there's not usually, but this one was just, for some reason, really, really pretty. Each night, we did an 8-night cruise on this from Baltimore to Charleston, down to the Bahamas in Perfect Day, and back. Kind of like Deck 5 on the Oasis class ships as well, where you have the track. This is just open, so you can kind of walk around it. Obviously, it's a little closed here for the crew to get work done and stuff, but this back part of the ship is the whole reason I actually walked you back here. This is like the showstopper. So if you come all the way to the back here, you just have these really spectacular views. You can pull up a chair back here and sit down. Check out the wake of the ship. You're right above the wake. It just doesn't get any better than this when you're on a cruise. Really, really stunning and beautiful out here during the day, at night. It's another thing we noticed on this ship is at night, it is not as bright as the newer cruise ships. So it gets really dark and you really can see a ton of stars up on the upper pool deck. But these views, this is why you go on a cruise here. You get these amazing views. You can relax here, hang out. Just really, really incredible. And another tip, like don't sleep on the small ships. They're a lot of fun sometimes. Let's come back out here to the main hallway. We're going to walk into the My Fair Lady dining room here. If you are on deck 4, you would do early or late seating for dinner. You can obviously do breakfast and lunch, but really, really pretty dining room. Very, very big. About 1,000 people can eat in there once, and they did, and it was crowded, and it took a long time. But we haven't switched the new menus yet. They are going to be doing that, so that's something to keep in mind. If you have My Time dining, you're going to go into the dining room on the 5th floor, and you would go in from up there. Now we're going to wander into the Centrum, which was really, really pretty. And you're just going to get a great view of the Centrum here. I highly recommend, even if you love going on Oasis class ships and Quantum class ships, there's a certain charm, and it's really fun still on these older ships, and you can get a really good deal if you want to go on a cruise on these older ships that leave out of Baltimore, or some of them leave out of, still Port Canaveral or Fort Lauderdale. The cruise director staff was incredible. It was Eric and his team on the cruise director staff. They were amazing. I can't recommend any more. Try these smaller, older ships. You're going to have a great time. You're going to save yourself a boatload of cash, and you're still going to have an amazing cruise vacation. Don't always have to be on the newest and the best. Try some old ones out. It's a lot of fun sometimes. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe. We really appreciate it. If there are any ships that you would like to see, or you have any questions about the lovely Enchantment of the Seas, let us know. Thanks so much. Have a great day, everyone.